everyone, Bob Ross here, just for you today. I'm going to be showing you the assembly of this face mask that I've been making. If you have your own 3D printer, I'll even include the link to these brackets so you can make it yourself. I will show you some of the modifications I've made, some of the steps that I've done to make the assembly easier, and let's get started. All right, first thing I recommend before you go any further is to get yourself a good sized piece of cardboard or a piece of plastic and cut, and this will be your form for making your masks very quickly. You're going to want the form to be 250 millimeters across, 150 millimeters on the sides. Then I also put a 200 millimeter section here. This will be for your elastic bands that you need to make in case you got to replace them. Then halfway down at 75 millimeters on each side, I also put a center mark. And that'll be to be able to mark your mask with the where the fold will go. So let's start with the let's go ahead and start with the elastic. Cut those pieces. Doesn't have to be exact, but the 200 millimeter is the length that works well for going around the ears. All right, I did all of them but one because they're all put together the same way. I start from the bottom on mine. I start from the flat side. Some people start from the other side. Just depends on where you want the little finger to go. Okay, now we'll take our Scott paper. And if you're not using a PM2.5, you will need a second one. But it'll last for 6 different masks. The second sheet will. On the Scott shop towels, I always put the smooth end on the top and bottom and the perforated on the sides. Just makes it look a little cleaner. Then we line it up. Fold it over. Create the seam. Then lay it on the top. And with a pencil, pen, marker, mark your side there. Doesn't even have to be perfect, but a good straight line. Then make your halfway marks on both sides. That'll be your fold line. So then with the folded side, bring it down first to the marks. And here's where I said it will depend if you decide to use a PM 2.5 or another layer of Scott shop towel. The PM 2.5 will go right there to the seam. And then the bottom one will be brought up right there to the bottom of the PM 2.5. See where it folds a ways below that? Then that's how that'll work. Now if you're going to use the shop towel, take your form, mark your halfway points. On both sides. Fold it in half. I fold mine in half and cut again. Some folks just leave it all the way across. It's a personal preference. Do as you like. I figure as long as most of the protection is across the front of your face and to the side, should be plenty. Then at that seam, right there, we'll take and we'll put this one here, right here in the center. Fold it down. Fold this piece up, and there's your mark. Now, like many, some wear glasses. You have a couple different options of what you can use. If you have a old 3M mask, you can cut the nose piece off of it. Don't cut it too short because you need to be able to tape it in there, but and this piece here, the folded end, this is where it touches your nose right here. So you want to be able to turn that. Put the piece right there. Little piece of tape. And that's it for that. Flat side up. Bring your towel right there about where the little roll is right there. Don't have to go too far up. It's not needed. Some folks, we don't have enough strength to push that in like that, so you just take yourself a pair of pliers or a channel locks and just squeeze it just a little. Doesn't take a whole lot, and that'll hold it in place. flat side up. And your nose is right there in the center. There you have it. Open her up, and you're good to go. And you just bring this down under your chin. That crisscrosses over your nose, and it'll be very, very good for you. Now, to show you how the masks are tested without having the special equipment, just take yourself a bright little flashlight. There's a surgical mask that many of you folks are using. And there's the Scott towel mask. I wouldn't go running in it or doing exercise in them. Some folks have. Some use just the 2 layers. Some use the PM2.5s. The breathing is not very restricted, from my own personal experience with it. The shop towels, depending on where you buy them, will depend on what it costs you for each mask. The Scott shop towels come about 55 towels per roll. Some are more, some are less, but in that general area. I buy mine at Costco. Costco sells them 10 rolls for $16. So I pay $1.60 per roll. Each roll has 55 towels in it, so about 4 cents a mask. The surgical masks cost $1, $2, sometimes higher than that per mask. It's all a personal preference, but with using the PM2.5 or an extra layer under the in between the layers, it's as close to stopping quite a bit. But that's all a personal preference. Do as you like. And there you go. Now, after you put the mask on, if you find it's too long or this is too close to your ears and there's not enough pull here and you don't want to pull this out anymore and you have to, you can easily just take the one side apart, cut it, put it back together until you find where you feel comfortable with it. Usually with these, at least about halfway up the side of your face towards your ears, that's usually the good spot for it because it'll seal all around there.